Hi, I'm JT Taylor here at Malaysian Rainforest Challenge 2015. The Malaysian Rainforest Challenge doesn't really compare to anything else I've ever done because it's so different. It's so hard. It's winching and it's mud and it's super steep terrain, and the only thing that does compare is the special stages. The special stages are kind of like the old XRA days, to where we were doing short course rock racing, and I love that. That's where I cut my teeth in racing in the rocks. And so to do it here in the mud and the rocks and with winching thrown in, it's been a lot of fun. So the car that we ended up with here at the Rainforest Challenge is a Toyota Land Cruiser, a 1K is what they call it around here. The one we ended up with has air locking differentials, front and rear, onboard compressor on the motor, and an electric compressor as a backup. But one of the most impressive, albeit scary, things on the car is the God winch, which is a car differential coming from the PTO. The PTO shaft comes to a car differential which goes into the winch. So the speeds of this thing are, I just can't even explain it how fast these winches are. So yeah, the lockers are air actuated with manual switches, and the fun part about this was trying to decipher what was what, because it's all labeled in Chinese. I don't read Chinese, so it was a challenge, to say the least. Having a driver slash co-driver, because we changed out and drove and co-drove each. Thomas Tomaselli is Italian. His English is pretty good. My Italian is zero. And we're in Malaysia and working with Chinese and Malay and Cantonese, and so the language barrier has been a trick to get around. But everybody's been pretty accommodating, and with sign language and trial and error, we figured it out. I think my best memory from the Malaysian Rainforest Challenge 2015 is going to be the hard trail that was the Twilight Zone. It was an amazing 3 kilometers of uphill mud and trees and off camber, and trying to remember geometry because we're having to put a winch cable, because we're off camber here behind a tree this way and the trail's over here, so we have to do a winch cable up over here to pull it around and then slide along the tree, and then it falls off and almost goes back down the hill. So our race ended towards the end of the Twilight Zone. The car we rented was not the most well prepped race car I've ever been around, so it was a quick rental, so you can't really blame the guy too much. But when the 4 studs on top of the steering knuckle broke, and one of them was the only one that was still good, the other 3 had been broken for a while, and I think it was a language barrier with our Chinese guy that we rented the car from, to where we thought he was getting the parts and getting the car fixed, and he thought we were going to help do that. And it just kind of fell apart, and we ended up not getting the part, and the car is still in the jungle and we're not. So now we get to watch and cheer on some of our new friends. So the jungle and I have unfinished business. So I think I'll have to come back and see if I can best the jungle, because this time they got the best of me. So if you're not scared, come on down.